So Saturdays are for house hunting wase. So leo tunatoka kutafuta hao, and kuna kamlima place natembea. I'm fit of course, but you know, mlima. So hata nitoe mask. Disclaimer though, this is not a video for someone who has all the money in the world, but rather for someone who is not afraid of getting tired, at the same time save a few coins here and there and avoid the frustration that could come with getting someone to look for a house for you only to regret. So if you feel like you have money that could work for you, please consider getting into real estate pages, blogs, newspapers, and notice boards in major malls in Nairobi. Let's get to the video. So take some time and start your house hunting in good time. What that means is haraka itakupatia kitu mzuri. If you are looking for a house in a leafy suburb in Nairobi, then you can rely on the agents. They are a little bit serious. They are kind of show you what is on the ground, but any other, like in the average living estates in Nairobi, just walk in those estates, read the houses to let signs in the plots and all that, and look for your house. Don't rely on those blackboards kama za witch doctors and advertisement everywhere in the corners of the estates. Accessibility, whether you'll be driving or walking home, is it a place that is safe for you and that is all weather? Kukinyesha na kama kumekauka uko sawa, that is something you need to consider. The distance to your place, does it have like a water storage and power storage, like backup? That is what I mean. When the electricity is not, KPLC plays games, do you have the backup for your fridge situation and every other thing that you need power for? So when you look for a house in good time, you take time to find out whether it has things that need to be fixed, to evaluate the situation of the the repairs to be done without no hurry, and any other thing. You need to visit such places not once, twice, and maybe mchana, jioni, and even a weekend, to get an overview of the world situation of that place. Like when you go during the daytime, you can try and figure out the amount of natural light that comes in that house, which you can't see at night. So at night, you maybe realize a situation to do with the parking lot or the children playing, or what happens at night, the neighborhood, just assessing the situation. So going there over the weekend, you might also realize that maybe some people travel over the week, and then over the weekend you have to struggle for parking lot spaces, and maybe the crowd, how overcrowded the area is over the weekend, and many other things that you could note to do with the neighborhood, to do with the neighbors. So when you go to house hunt, don't rely on the agent, don't rely on the landlord alone. Just take a point of talking to a neighbor, a possible neighbor to be, and ask them the issues that they are facing there, just in a smart way. Find out whether those are things that you could keep up with, because if not, then you might end up like regretting. You need to check on the space when you're house hunting to just know whether your VT zita fit and other things before you just go there, and now you are in a situation where you need to sell some of the things so that your things can fit in small kitchens and small living spaces that you did not anticipate. So a very important point I should have started with is when to house hunt. In Nairobi, if you want to house hunt in good time, do the second, third, and fourth week of the month. The first week is usually very busy. You're likely to get very high rates, and again, you're likely to get into a house that has a lot of situations. So unless you are stranded in a position where you are likely to be homeless, don't do that. Wait for the first week. That is when they fix the things that need to be fixed, and then you can look for a house at that time. Give yourself time when you're looking for a house in Nairobi. Give yourself some months, all right? Start looking, and then when you see the viable estates that you could want to live in, then you can issue the notice. And then when you issue the 1 month notice, then you can finalize on the deal and make sure that you have done your due diligence kabisa, the area, the house, the payments, the owner, even possibly the person who was living there before you. Very important. So look at the spaces. This is a 3 bedroom 2 bath kind of a situation. Sizable, though, according to the location and the pay at 37,000 Kenya shillings. It was not worth it because we are talking about a few kilometers, like 2.5, 3 kilometers to the main road. So if you don't drive, or you have some family members that live there that will be going to school or to work, or even the nanny going to the shopping mall and stuff like that, that is a challenge. That is a lot of working. So if you have a young one and they will be left with a nanny and she has to walk around, do a few errands before you come back, then those are things you need to consider. Consider neighborhoods that fit you. Neighborhoods, there are so many different neighborhoods in Nairobi, and some estates are known to be child friendly neighborhoods. Others are known to be for bachelor or single people kind of situation. So think about a neighborhood that is good to like support your okay childlike growing, a place where they will have space to play, other children to play with, safe to play. That means like a gated community kind of a controlled environment and such. The payments, how are you going to be paying for this house? Is it a quarterly paid house, or is it a monthly and a deposit kind of payment that is going to be done? Is it M-Pesa, cash, bank transfer, or what are the payments for the house? And again, on payments, what are the other payments that are needed to be done in terms of service charge, in terms of security fee, garbage collection fee, and such? Are you paying for the water, or the rent is inclusive of the water? Are you paying for electricity? Whether it is really viable, because you are considering who will be living in that house. Is there a child who is going to school, and maybe they need some transport to school? That is an extra charge. So how much are you paying for that? So that should also be calculated in the whole budget for the house. That's the best deal that you can get from around, because if you add everything, the security, the garbage, the transport and all that, and then you do the 37k and you do water and steamer and all that, how much is that getting? And is that the best deal from where you could like access school easier, work easier, shopping malls easier and all that? If they prohibit anything, you can only stay if you're a vegetarian. So you need to find out about such. You don't want to go to a place where you feel restricted. So for the stairs, do you need a lift? If there is no backup electricity and backup maji, maybe borehole or something, that means at some point when the water issue goes crazy in Nairobi, you might need to buy water from the vendors. So how are you going to carry your water jerrycans to 8th floor on those stairs? Those are some of the things you need to think about. So first floor and second floor becomes very, very, very ideal for someone who is smart looking for a house, because ground floor could have a lot of issues from being easily accessible in cases of wizi or the uchafu and such things. So playgrounds, parking lots, how spacious is the parking lot? Do you have parking lot for an extra car if the two of you are driving, or you get a friend over who is driving or such issues, you need to think about that. How safe is the gate thing? How secure is the place? Is there a security guard? Do they have cameras around? How do they deal with loss of things? So make sure that you do all that. Your due diligence will really come a long way. No assumption here, just take time. And like I said, no hurry should be done when you're house hunting in Nairobi. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you got a point or two about smart house hunting in Nairobi, so that you don't just house hunt and regret. I'll see you later in the next video, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Bye.